There's one thing that ties all of humanity together, and that is our appreciation for storytelling. A certain kind of story that we all appreciate is the story of the underdog. We all like the story of the scrappy guy going up against the champion and then the scrappy underdog winning. You know what I'm saying? The Daniel Bryans of the world, the Rockies of the world, okay? But what if I told you the punk rock world has an underdog story bubbling up right now? Our Rocky is named Karen Dio, and she is absolutely on the rise. She may have popped up on your Instagram feeds a little bit over the last couple months like she did mine, and she's turning a lot of heads and getting a lot of attention for the sound that she's bringing to the internet right now. Her approach for getting music out there, gaining traction, and getting the attention of those who matter in the scene and in the community is absolutely a testament of talent. So I give you permission to commence kicking back as I tell you the story of Karen Dio. And by I tell you the story, I mean she did a really good job of making these videos of telling her story, and I'm going to react to them. Okay, that's what's going on in today's video. Hey ladies, how's it going? I'm the internet's most ruthless gatekeeper, the planet's most entertaining human being. I am the satirical miracle known as Dan Frampton, and today we got a bit of a wholesome bit of content. We're doing something positive for the scene for once in our lives, okay? We're talking about this punk rocker over here, Karen Dio. Now, this is a punk rocker from Brazil making her way in the UK, but I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to have her tell you that. These series of vignettes that she made are absolutely brilliant. So let me just give you the quick little timeline, really quick, from how I know her, and then we'll go into some more detail here. Karen Dio popped up in my Reels feed for her song Sick Ride and So Funny. And they have this kind of like intangible quality that sticks with your brain in a way that you want these kind of songs too. These hooks are good. They have this kind of like driving kind of aggression to them. They're a little bit pissed, a little bit angry, but a little bit happy, a little bit celebratory, introspective, and very simple. Just the way you like your punk rock. So Funny is basically about how it's so funny how she used to think that you were the coolest person in the world. It's about kind of losing respect for somebody, something I think we can all relate to. And then Sick Ride is about her friend stealing her ex-boyfriend's car and them going for a ride in it. It's just a fun time. And then from those singles, she put out these 4 vignettes, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Who the fuck is Karen Dio? And this is such a smart thing to do because she knows that people connect to stories. People are already connecting to the songs. Now let's get a connection to the story, the person who made this song, the journey that this person was on. And you don't need to be paying super close attention to be seeing that she is making these connections, and something really big is happening for her. So let's just see this story unfold a little bit.
My name is Karen Dio, and I have some really exciting news coming soon. But for you to know my future, you need to understand my past. So I will tell you guys all my story in the next couple of videos. To begin with, let's go back all the way to Brazil.
Going back all the way to Brazil. Look at this baby punk rocker over here in São Paulo. You know that there's big things in store for this pacifier wielding badass over here.
I was born in November 1990 in São Paulo, one of Brazil's main cities. My family always had a strong connection with music, and I guess the music bug also bit me too. At an early age,
I really hope that this background music doesn't get me copyright claimed. Well, we're just gonna roll with it right now.
I taught myself how to play piano and guitar. I really like music in general. Brazil is really culturally vast. But around the age of 12, as a teen, I started to rebel and get really into rock and punk bands like Offspring, Green Day.
You see, that's how Karen Dio makes her way onto a channel like mine. Being into bands like Green Day, not so much the Offspring, but that whole kind of vibe is what's going to bring you onto the Dan Frampton, all one word, the Oza Zero YouTube channel.
Foo Fighters, Blink-182, Sum 41, and more.
I've made videos about literally all those bands.
Growing up was kind of hard and confusing. I moved house and schools quite a lot.
I did that too. That's another thing that we can relate to on a kind of bigger, more deeper level than just punk rock and music. Is I was a military kid and I was bouncing around from my whole childhood. I didn't know a single teacher for longer than 6 months. I didn't have friends for longer than 2 years. You know, that kind of vibe. That could wear away on a kid, you know what I mean? I've always felt a little bit jealous of people that were able to like be born and then grow up in the place that they were born with the people that they were like born around. Have no idea what that's like.
I never had many friends because of that.
Amen, Karen Dio. I hear ya.
I was bullied. Never was a pretty girl or feminine, whatever that means. Divorced parents, the whole package.
The whole package. I'm right there with you. I wasn't like a jock or a big cool guy. I was a dorky guy into punk rock music, all right?
That's when at 13 years old, Avril Lavigne showed up and basically changed my whole fucking world.
I love that. Avril Lavigne, who grew up literally like 4 hours from here in Napanee, Ontario, Canada, is changing the life of someone in Brazil. I love to see it. You know, in today's day and age, I make a lot of jokes at the expense of Avril Lavigne, and that's basically because of the image in today's day and age with Travis Barker. But back in the day, even though Avril Lavigne was all over MTV and Much Music, there was still a little bit, and I mean just a little bit, of respect in the punk rock community for her. But from a Canadian standpoint, absolute idol. From a rock star standpoint, absolute legend.
Seeing a girl, a female representative, playing pop rock, pop punk opened a whole new world for me. That's when I knew I wanted to be a rock star, and that's when my whole journey started.
That's when she knew she wanted to be a rock star. That's wholesome. Seeing Avril Lavigne out there with her ties and her dickies doing little skateboarding tricks. Love to see it. So that was Karen Dio, the early years. I find that highly relatable. We lived very similar type lives and kind of ended up interested in the same types of things. But where did it go from there? How did she turn that passion of music into playing music and then being in bands and writing songs and stuff? Well, let's see.
Growing as an artist and figuring yourself out takes time. For me, it felt like a long journey. It's a trial and error process. I've been through so many bands before I got here, and
Same here. Finding your voice as an artist, as a musician, as somebody that draws, any kind of artist really, is really a trial and error type thing. And it seems like Karen Dio just really went in on the culture, bro.
that helped shape me. Not just as a musician, but also as a person. I've played in pop rock bands to even trying a bit of metalcore. Everything that I liked at the time until I found what actually makes me happy.
I'd love to hear some Karen Dio metalcore, screaming with some little riffs going on. Let's do it. Let's get a metalcore record as like the sophomore release. Let's go.
I also replicated some of my favorite singers until I found my own voice. This process is natural, and now I am a perfect combination of all my favorite bands and artists mixed with my real essence.
She is a perfect combination of all those things. She nailed it.
At the age of 26, I finally felt I was being my authentic self as a musician. I decided to leave Santos, my home, and move to the big city, São Paulo, so I could achieve my dreams. I found any job that would be able to pay my bills and for the recording of my first single as a solo artist.
That's so smart. A lot of people don't do that, you know, and it's definitely not what I did. I kind of just learned a couple chords and was like, all right, I'm going to the city to do this thing. Finding your voice as an artist, finding out who you are genuinely and authentically before doing it is the way to do it. That is the life lesson. Whoever told you to do that, very wise. Big things in the future for Karen Dio.
Do it. The song was written by me and Murilo Benitez. At the time, all the songs that I was writing, I would show to Murilo later to see what he thought and vice versa. We were writing a lot together, so he suggested, why don't we make a band? And to be honest, I didn't want to be in a band anymore. That's why I started my solo career in the first place. I knew the process and I had tried so many times. But after thinking for a while, I decided to give my let's go at having a band. And that was the beginning of Violet Soda.
Violet Soda. Okay, so now things are really starting to roll. She went out there, okay, no, I'm going to do a solo thing. Done with the bands. Bands are drama. Don't really want that process right now. I just want to write some songs. I want to perform these songs. Then the guy that you're writing and recording with was like, hey, how about band? Let's do band. And you're like, I don't know if I really want to do band right now. And he's like, no, we should probably do band. I mean, we're already doing band, so let's do band. And she's like, all right, Violet Soda, I guess, let's go. Okay, but we're looking at Karen Dio right now. We're not looking at Violet Soda or whatever they were called. So there's definitely been stuff that has happened since then. Drama, probably.
People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you make them feel. I'm not holding anything back. Here we go again for the last time. Violet Soda. Violet was the band that I always dreamed of being in. Everything about it was perfect to me. People who know me know that once I'm in a project, I dedicate 200% of myself.
That is incredible. Karen Dio, you have exactly what it takes, and you are exactly everything that it means to be an artist.
So that you can understand how determined I was to make the band happen. In the first meeting with our drummer, I said, "Are you ready to conquer the world?" We had the most crazy and amazing almost 4 years of the band. I saw us playing to no one to playing for thousands of people.
It's beautiful to see that kind of growth happening and it really working, and you feel like it's vibing and there's a band and people are starting to like resonate with it. That must have been like such a dream come true type moment.
I saw us being the band that people in the scene would talk shit about, to be one of the most influential and promising bands in Brazil.
I love it. She's just saying it. Yeah, you probably were the most promising and talented band in Brazil. I believe what I'm seeing.
Being recognized on the street, people doing tattoos of the band or even of my face. My idols like Billy Joel of Green Day followed the band at the time. Mark Harper's played our song on his podcast. We were named in the Kerrang magazine as one of the underground bands putting Brazil back on the map.
That is crazy, man. That is steam. That is momentum.
It was extremely exciting. The band had so much to do and so much potential until things changed. COVID hit the world, and after that, nothing was the same.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that affected everybody and did a number on all the bands in the world. But so much potential going on in this band. And then for this to happen, let's see what's next.
Bruised egos, disagreements, lack of trust, and power struggles were just some of the things that were already happening in the band.
Band drama. Yep. Very familiar with all that drama.
Even before I decided to move to the UK in 2021, due to my husband Matt, at the time my boyfriend, health condition, and him being hospitalized numerous times that year.
Holy crap, you don't expect the story to take that road, do you? Her now husband, boyfriend at the time, medical issues. And I don't know if we get into it in these reels or whatever, but Karen Dio also has this really bad back where sometimes she just needs to lay on the ground, and sometimes she's just laying on the ground recording vocal takes. It's extremely endearing and heartening and shows you like, yeah, this is the kind of dedication you need to make this kind of stuff work. And it's paying off.
In our first meeting about me moving to the UK, I said that I was 100% committed to continue the band even after the move. After all, we put so much into it. Loads of bands work like that. And nothing was happening in pandemic world anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go take care of my husband. I'll still be in the band. Where no one's really being bands right now, so let me go take care of my husband. That's fine, right? That all seems no big deal.
We could build the band internationally. But at the meeting I became aware that the guys had already discussed the future of the band without me. One of the guys said they had decided that was it for Violet Soda if I didn't stay for one more year in Brazil. You see, I love Violet Soda, but I couldn't imagine being away from my partner for an...
That is an insane ultimatum to put on somebody that is like the face of the band, that the band revolves around. And you're like, no, I think we're gonna do the band without you instead. It's either them or us. What? That is so petty, but really not above bands to be that kind of dramatic.
Another year, when he was struggling so much with his health in another country. I wouldn't forgive myself if anything had happened.
I'm right there with you. That is, to put your dream not only on hold, because all of this stuff is happening for you. Kerrang magazine, you got Green Day, you got all these people shouting you out. People are recognizing you on the street. You're playing in front of thousands of people. You're one of the most recognized bands in Brazil. And then for the band that you're in to be like, no, it's either your dying husband or us. Choose now.
I couldn't stay in Brazil. There were a few more meetings about the same thing, which was painful and stressful.
Oh, I can imagine.
I was fighting for a dead relationship with the band. It was hard to hear one of the guys say that they even considered continuing the band without me in our last meeting before we announced the split.
That is so crazy. Karen Dio, let me just say it right here. You're better off without them, okay? It is clear if those are the kinds of people that you are rolling with, you're in a much healthier space right now for this stuff to be rolling.
That really echoed in my head. Continue without me. The songwriter, the person who created the name of the band, who designed the album covers, show posters, wrote the music video ideas. Me. Honestly, when Violet Soda was over, I was sad.
No kidding, you were the face of the project. You were Violet Soda, essentially.
But I felt sort of relieved. I was so emotionally drained and tired after months of this situation and my husband's health condition. I just wanted to finally be able to turn the page and move on. At the time, I couldn't understand why all of this was happening. For some time, I thought it was such a waste of time. But in the end, if it wasn't for Violet Soda, I wouldn't know some of the amazing people that I know now. I wouldn't be here in the UK.
Man, what a positive outlook, and you are really in a way better spot.
Or even met my partner in crime, Matt. So for that, I should say, thank you, Violet Soda.
That's incredible. That makes my heart swell to 1,000,000 times its size, okay? Because not only is this an underground underdog story, we got like health problems and conditions and sacrifices being made personally, emotionally, professionally. It's got everything. This is the story of stories.
I couldn't believe that I was finally in my partner's arms after being away from him for 10 months because
Oh, it's so beautiful. I got goosebumps.
of COVID restrictions and closed borders. I was finally at home. Moving to a different country is challenging. There was so much to learn and do.
Oh, another layer to this and another huge mountain to climb in this story. Yeah, moving from Brazil to the UK, I'm sure is a big difference, okay? Over in Brazil, if you order beans, you get something delicious. If you're over there in the UK and you order beans, you don't want to be within a 10-yard radius from it.
So much. So I decided to step away from music for a while to be able to settle down in the UK.
She's so wise beyond her years, letting those emotions settle, going into a normal kind of life. Very wise, very smart, following your heart, doing exactly what you know to be true and real. It's a beautiful story. I don't know what to tell you.
I got married, found a job. It was awesome to have a normal life and see how simple things could be again.
That is so wild to be on this crazy journey in Brazil where all the things are happening for you. You got all this momentum. That rocket is strapped to your back. You're heading to the moon. Then it gets ripped away from you. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to move to the UK, quit music, get a job, and get married. Settle down. All before 30. What the hell, brother?
I was still writing songs at home, but with no pressure, just for me. I got used to that. So for a period, I didn't want to go back to music. Life as an independent artist is exhausting, and right now, life was easy. I shared my feelings with Matt, and he completely understood.
She's such a quirky little dorky person, but has the absolute look and presence and powerhouse rock star persona to bring it all together, to be relatable to the dorks and the losers and the outcasts and the people looking for somebody to inspire them, and also just a total badass to be in awe over. I don't understand how she's got the entire package. On top of all that, seems like she got a heart of gold, does the nicest things for her husband. They have a wonderful, wholesome relationship. Incredible stuff going on over here. All the doom and gloom in the world and all the cringe that goes on the internet. It is just so lovely to see a story like this unfold in real time in front of my eyes.
But at the same time, as my biggest supporter, he said that I should give my career one more chance.
I would have said the same thing, all right? It's you are writing songs. You are a powerhouse out there. Go ahead and do it. You were born for this shit. You spent all those years defining and sculpting your artistic voice. Don't let that go to waste. That's a very, truly special thing to have. So do that right now, please, Karen Dio.
That got stuck in my head for a while, and I was delaying making a decision for months. But what else would I do? I was already writing songs. Why wouldn't I release them?
Yeah, exactly. Duh. Seems like a no-brainer, but you needed to settle down from all of that band drama, all of that moving, getting married. That's a lot to process, and to do all of that life stuff while moving forward with a band, probably not the best thing for yourself, psychologically, emotionally, all of that sort of nonsense. And when the time was right, it seems like the time was right.
I love playing music and being on stage. That's when I can be the best version of myself. 6 months later, I independently released Sick Ride as my first single in my return to music.
such a cool song. I think the lyrics are kind of silly, but in like a fun kind of silly way. When I sing the song in my head, I definitely don't sing the actual lyrics, but the lyrics are very funny. The video is very cool.
I have to say, I did not expect the heat.
I did not expect the heat. Oh yeah, it popped off. Damn, did it ever.
It's awesome to see the reaction to the song, and it's
Liberty Spikes for the win.
super validating seeing how many people feel connected to it. Right after that, I released my second single called So Funny, which was
It's so funny how I used to think you were the coolest thing in the whole world. Great little lyric, melody, everything.
played on loads of BBC radio shows over here in the UK, and continued to grow my community. And I guess that's where I paused my documentary.
There she was laying on the ground, playing VR.
Why? Because
Just being like a weird dork on the internet. It's incredible.
what happens next is where we switch from the past to the future. And for that, we have to wait until tomorrow.
That's awesome.
I have a huge announcement to share with you guys, and I just can't wait for my next chapter. So for now, I will see you tomorrow.
And tomorrow has happened. The huge announcement has happened. Literal goosebumps. I am so pumped for Karen Dio. Here we go. Here's the announcement. You see the logo in the background. You're probably not a dummy. You probably see what's going on here. And her just like insanely smart way of doing this on social media through these vignettes, telling this story, getting you even more emotionally hooked into this journey before announcing this. Brilliant. Another stroke of genius, wise beyond her years.
Hello? Oh, come in.
Okay.
On delivery if you can do on here.
Oh, we got a package. What do we got? Da 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 da. Ba da ba da ba da ba. Boopity boopity boo. Beepity boppity bop. Beepity beepity beep. Boppity boppity bop. Official punk rock identification card. She did it.
I'm officially a punk rocker.
She's officially a punk rocker.
It's official. Karen Dio has signed to Hopeless Records.
Signed to Hopeless.
Congratulations.
You hear that? Signed to Hopeless. Me and Hopeless Records are putting our strengths together to conquer the world, she says. Signed to Hopeless Records. What a journey. We're just getting started. Like she said in those vignettes, that was the past. Now we're moving into the future. Now we are waiting for a Karen Dio Hopeless Records record to hit the shelves. And by shelves, I mean streaming services everywhere, okay? Huge. Absolutely huge. The story of Karen Dio. The underdog from the underground is Sami Zayn no more. The underdog from the underground is Karen Dio, and she's coming to take over the punk rock world, okay? And whether you're ready for it or not, whether you like it or not, she's coming. The songs are there. The look is there. The presentation is there. The strength on social media is there. The human connection with fans and real people is absolutely 100% foundationally baked into this. I can't see nothing but huge things for Karen Dio in the future. I am so hyped to be part of this sick ride. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Did you hear about Karen Dio yet? Did you come across her in your like algorithms or whatever? Thank you so much for watching. Please go follow her, okay? If you're not listening to those songs, following her journey, what's wrong with you? Go do that right now. And if you enjoyed this upload, you might even enjoy this upload. All right, see you later.